Hello, welcome to this review of LEGO City Set 60324 Mobile Crane. This has 340 pieces, rated for ages 7+, contains 2 minifigures, and retailed for $40 USD when it was out from the beginning of 2022 to the end of 2023. And without further ado, let's get into the review. Starting off here first, of course, with the minifigures in this set, of which there are 2. We have this kind of construction worker guy here, which kind of follows along the same style with the other figure, as you'll see here in a second, with some notable differences, especially in the torso and face area, with the pants kind of being the same, jeans just a slightly different tone of blue here. But obviously we have some interesting printing here around the torso area, as well as a sort of like allusion to maybe it's like a sweatshirt of sorts underneath his thing here, again with the little sweatshirt illusion there with the hood poking through underneath his high-vis vest, as well as like a little radio right there so you can coordinate with the rest of them. And as you see on the box and stuff, he carries the radio, so maybe you can imagine that he's like the kind of leader or like head coordinator or something of sorts. Yeah, it looks pretty cool here, pretty basic figure, no back printing there for the head, no like second face I mean, but just the basic printing on the vest there, which is, you know, fine. It's a city set here. Don't need anything too like crazy printing wise, especially for like a $40 Lego City set here with a vehicle, obviously. And moving on to the second figure now, here we have the female construction worker here, who obviously follows along the same theme of being a construction worker, just with that slightly different coloration in the pants, as well as different arm coloring. So instead of like the longer yellow vest or whatever, I guess it would be implied on the other figure, we have a just like standard vest style thing with a reddish brown button up under there, it looks like, if you like check that out and stuff, and the vest being like a zip up and stuff, some slightly different pockets and a different tool on the back of her thing. So instead of your walkie-talkie on the back, she has like a pair of pliers, I would believe and assume by what that is trying to convey, and a slightly different helmet, so that it has that mold, that dual molded helmet there for the hair, of course, as well as also not having a second face there. And I feel like 2 figures for a $40 Lego City set might be a tad lacking. I would have liked to see a third figure in this set, but it's nothing like super crazy that definitely kills the set for me. It's not like a don't buy because it doesn't have a third figure there. It just would have been nice and might help justify the $40 price point to some people, because some people might see, oh, it's a little crane with like 2 people. That's nothing crazy special to like some people, and it might just help justify the price if there was that third figure thrown in there to just add that little bit more value, a little bit of play value for the kids, maybe like a standard pedestrian figure or another construction figure with a little bit different printing or something. But yeah, that's about all I have to say here about the figures, and let's move on to the set itself. So the set itself here comes in kind of 2 chunks, if you want to call this a chunk of the set, because it's just 2 pieces, a little piece for the hook to attach to, and then just a little road plate, which I'll probably steal for a different project for the Lego City, honestly. But setting that aside, it's definitely, let me bring it back here, it's definitely a nice inclusion and something that definitely is nice to have in a crane, something to pick up, something for the kids to mess around with and stuff. As you can see on the box there, it's obviously meant to be picked up with the crane and moved around and stuff, and that is definitely a pro to the set, because you would hope that a crane set would have something to, you know, carry and move with the crane, and definitely adds quite a bit of play value, even though it's just those two pieces there. Although it might have been nice to have a couple of the tiles there just to kind of finish off this piece, but that's not really anything crazy, no crazy big deal there. Definitely a nice inclusion there. And the set itself here we have in the sort of folded up and like driving form, as you would like drive it down the road and stuff, with the hook there locked up on the front, which is a nice feature so that it's not swinging all around if you're like driving it around and playing with it and stuff. So it's definitely a nice inclusion to have that little clip there so that you can hook your hook onto it there and tighten it and stuff with the knobs, which we'll show you in a little bit. And first off here, if I get the hook undone, we will check out the cab section, and then we will just move our way back in the vehicle. So the cab itself looks pretty good. I like the overall look of the entire set. It's got a nice color scheme and stuff, and the little bits of red and stuff to kind of signify like danger or safety stuff, which we'll get more into like some of these bits, and obviously the hook there later. But the cab itself has room for two people there, and it kind of implies that they're like sitting on the engine, which is, I believe, pretty standard for like these style vehicles, especially in real life, where they'll have like the engine and stuff in the front, and then the back will just kind of be like a bed where they can put everything on, and maybe some like fuel and stuff will be towards the back here and stuff. And they'll be like sitting on top of the engine pretty much. And I don't know much about these style vehicles, but I think quite a bit. Like, you'll basically just have to pop the cab off or lean it forward there so you can get to the engine. But other than that, I kind of like that detail and stuff. Just a little bit extra flavor that I didn't really have to add there. Definitely a nice touch. And like I said, space for two people. One passenger sitting right there, and then a driver with a steering wheel right there. Of course, you got your rear view mirrors and the couple of windshields right there. And I do think the dual windshield design would look better than just a single windshield design, even though I couldn't really pull that off. I think it just kind of adds a little bit of texture and almost gives it the feel of having two separate window panes like you would see in some trucks like this, where they'll be split down the middle, and then they'll have like a little like bar right there, and they'll have two separate windshield pieces sometimes. But I think that's just a great overall look for the front here. Obviously some stickers and stuff that are scattered throughout the set definitely add to it, but if you didn't want to put the stickers on there, then it doesn't really detract from the look a lot. They're mainly used like places like this, stuff like this, labels that give it a nice amount of extra detail and stuff, but nothing like super major to the set where it's like, oh, that's like very important that you gotta put that on there. So if you don't really like stickers, you feel free to not put them on there. But next, as we're moving back here, we have a little spot for accessories, which is very nice in a set like this, especially since it's for like 7+ and stuff, more intended for younger audiences and like children and stuff mainly, to have these little accessory bits so you can, you know, store your stuff back here. I think it would have been nice if they included a little box there, but if you have a lot of if you have a good enough Lego collection, you might have like a little box or something that you can put there. There's definitely space for it, for like a little tool chest, excuse me, that you can store a couple other items and stuff in. But I think it looks pretty great overall. I really enjoy the look and the little addition of obviously having little spots to store your tools, which is generally standard on most city sets. You always have a spot to store your accessories and stuff. Now, before we get onto the crane, like the boom itself, we will go to this little part that helps to stabilize the build there and stuff for play, and is definitely just a accurate thing with cranes that they have the little stands, I forget what they're called, that pop out. As you see, you just kind of pull them out and then fold them down so that they touch the ground, and it definitely kind of moving it there and stuff. It definitely increases the stability right there, and is great for like imaginative play and stuff for kids, because they can just do whatever they want with these guys here, and it's just a nice little extra feature that's kind of crammed into this relatively small model. But yeah, it's I think they look pretty good there, and are obviously accurate to cranes in real life and stuff. But now let's get to the crane portion here, and we'll just take a look at the looks first, and then we'll get into the features. So overall, it looks pretty good, and I definitely enjoy it. The cab is a little small, but you can't really make it much bigger on a set like this, especially when you're trying to stick into that kind of frame, which I believe is like roughly 6 studs. Nope, it's 8 studs actually for the like wideness and stuff, which still lets it be able to fit pretty well on Lego City roads and stuff, and definitely helps it. And I don't think it really matters all that much not having the size on there, especially for like a small Lego City set like this. And I think it actually increases the ease of access and stuff for kids to be able to get their fingers in there and place their figures in, pull them back out and stuff. But the like boom and stuff itself, I think looks pretty good. I mean, it looks like a crane. And then the hook here, I do like how they added this like extra little chunk here on top of the hook to like secure it and stuff better, which definitely looks good and stuff. I really enjoy that. But now let's get into the features here. We got a turner around like this, and using this knob right here, we can raise the boom, which is very good. And since we have our things out here, we can mess around with it. Obviously, to spin it and change directions and stuff, all you gotta do is simply this here, just like move it around by hand. And then to lower your hook or raise it, you just turn this knob right here, and as you like lower your hook and stuff, you can even extend the boom a bit. As you can hear, it kind of clicks into place as you go, so you can make it even longer. And I find that it's fairly sturdy. It's not gonna like fall in on you, as long as you're like, this isn't just gonna start like drooping or falling as you go out like this, like some larger cranes might, because it's fairly small. It's small enough to be compact. The only thing with this is that it doesn't have like a catch, so if you pull it like that, that can come out, and that might frustrate certain, like some kids. Sometimes they might just pop this out and not figure out how to get it back in there for a minute, and that might be a source of slight frustration for them. But that's not really a point to dock on the set, because that's just the design of the piece that doesn't really go into the set qualities itself, at least in my opinion. But lowering this thing back down now, we can kind of just look at the set as a whole and stuff, and I think it's a pretty great set overall. The only real gripe that I might have about it is that lack of a third minifigure that really would have helped make me feel like it's worth it, in my opinion. But one thing I would like to mention is, because this set is now retired, it's been retired for a little while at the time of recording, like about a year. You might think like it might be a little bit harder to find and stuff, but if you do find it and stuff on, say, sites like eBay and stuff, it should still be around that $40 price point. I think currently, like, the current values are right at about $40 new, and about $38 used. So if you just want to get the set itself and don't really care about the box or maybe the instructions, depending. But yeah, if you don't really care about some of those things, you're only really saving $2. So it's still pretty good value, and it's not like they're charging up the wall for stuff on the secondary market, at least for this set in particular, which you don't see as much for city sets and stuff because they're, city sets. They're not really perfect models of certain things, so you're not really going to see that high jump all the time. So that is definitely a plus for this set. So it's still out there and available if you want a little thing like this, either for like a little city like I'm gonna set up, or maybe for a kid or something. It's not going to be that like terribly difficult to find or source, so you might just have to look it up. Might take a little extra time instead of just going on like Walmart.com or your basic generic like retail sites like that, like Lego, because it is retired at this point. And yeah, I guess the only other little thing that I kind of is kind of annoying is the fact that this the cable here for our hook does not stay on this thing at all. I don't know if that's a problem with how I built it or not, but I feel like I could just stick a little something right there to feed the line through so that I could fix that problem. So it's a pretty easily fixable problem, but that's really the only other gripe that I have about the set, other than maybe that third figure. But yeah, it's really about all I have to say about the set at the moment. And yeah, have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Bye.